Alright, my name is Samuel Eastlaw, and my proposition is Arizona 1070 immigration law should be resent, and I'm on the affirmative side. Let me give you a background of the SB 1070, the Senate bill. Arizona Governor Jane Brewer signed SB 1070 into law on April 23, 2010. The legislative intent of the bill set forth in Section 1 states that there is a compelling interest in a cooperative enforcement of federal immigration laws throughout all of Arizona, and declares that the intent of the law is to make attrition through enforcement the public policy of all state and local government agencies in California. The provisions of the law are intended to work together to discourage and deter the unlawful entry and presence of illegal aliens and economic activity by illegal aliens in the United States. Our first significant claim is Arizona immigration law is unconstitutional. In addition to the steps the federal government has taken against Arizona's immigration law, local government in the state is also on track to challenge the measure in court. Mayor Phil Gordon of Phoenix declared last Friday that his city is considering filing suit against the state, claiming the bill is unconstitutional. In an article in the Washington Post, Mayor Gordon denounced SB 1070 and called on the Phoenix City Council to sue the state. Gordon described the situation in Arizona as humiliating and non-indicative of a free-thinking hospital state capable of balancing great natural beauty and cultures of all sorts. Arizona's new law is subject to potential abuse, as Mr. Holder told a news conference. I'm very concerned about the wedge SB 70 could draw between the communities that law enforcement is supposed to serve and those of us in law enforcement. Gascon, also used to be a chief of police in Phoenix, suburb of Mesa, said at several points in this bill that concern him. One of them is the possible increase of arrests based on racial profiling. He emphasized that the principal duty of the police is to fight crime, but this law requires them to enforce immigration laws for the fear of being sued if they do not. Our second significant claim is Arizona immigration law will affect the economy negatively. Already, the University of Arizona has lost over $100,000 in canceled tuition. ASU has probably lost even more. Resorts, airlines, hotels, and other parts of the tourist industry are reporting increasing cancellations and loss of projected revenue. This bill hasn't even gone into effect yet, and they've lost already hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, Arizona Latinos are 1/3 of the state's population. There are an estimated 50,000 Latino-owned businesses. Latinos account for more than $31 billion in purchasing power in the state. An Arizona business owner, Hector Manrique, owns a taqueria in Phoenix, stated that he is now seeing signs of his business declining because today his restaurant would be empty tables and no people in sight due to effective Arizona immigration law SB 1070. Our third significant claim, Arizona immigration law will affect jobs owned by Latinos. Hector Manrique said that the streets just went empty. Usually on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we are packed, but this weekend was empty like I've never seen it before. Jose Rivera owns a bodega, and although he says all his employees are in the United States legally, he is not sure how he's going to be able to continue to employ them as his custom continues to dip. Ernesto Chesero from Mexico owns a meat distribution company in Phoenix, and he says that this is a slap in the face to the American dream. He says that he knows of people in America, both legally and illegally, who are now considering leaving the state. Our inherency claim, with her signature Senate Bill 1070, Governor Jane Brewer launched Arizona into a maelstrom of national controversy, community conflict, and extreme fiscal risk. In doing so, she failed a basic test of courageous leadership, recognizing and acting responsibly when her political symbolism and populist pandering crosses into dangerous policy. The governor should have known better, if only because recent history demonstrates the folly in enacting measures like Arizona SB 1070. Proposition 187, which is California Proposition 187, was a 1994 ballot initiative designed to create a state-run citizenship screening system in order to prohibit illegal immigrants' health care, public education, and other social services in the United States of California. The proposed law was initially passed by the voters through the referendum in November 1994, but later found unconstitutional by a federal court, which appealed against the judgment being halted by Governor Gray Davis in 1999. Proposition 187 heated up the ongoing issue of illegal immigrants into the United States and the state's large illegal Latino population. The law was viewed by opponents as based largely on xenophobia, which is an unreasonable fear or hatred of foreigners or strangers, or that which is foreign or strange. Towards immigrants of Hispanic origin, the supporters generally insisted that their concerns were economic. Proposition 187 was never implemented. California suffered other repercussions besides the waste of limited state financial resources. Community conflict increased as some interrupted, and an initiative passed as license for private individuals to harass and interrogate those they believed to be undocumented, which then, as now, was usually based on racial stereotypes. In addition, support of Proposition 187 did not help Pete Wilson, the 36th governor of California, did not help Pete Wilson's political career, as naturalizations rose and an increasing number of angry Latino voters mobilized to oppose the governor and the political party that campaigned such a negative initiative. Today, so many years later, the political signs of Wilson continue to be visited upon the heads of California politicians from this political party. As you see, that California tried to do the same thing as Arizona is doing right now before, and it did not work. Our solvency was that we can use guidelines from the DREAM Act, such as during the first 6 years, the immigrant would be granted conditional status and would be required to graduate from a 2-year community college or complete at least 2 years towards a 4-year degree, or serve 2 years in the U.S. military. After the 6th period, an immigrant who met at least one of these 3 conditions would be eligible to apply for legal permanent resident status. During the 6-year conditional period, immigrants would not be eligible for federal higher education grants, such as Pell Grants, but they would be able to apply for student loans or work study. If the immigrant did not meet the educational or military service requirement within the 6-year time period, their temporary residence would be revoked and they could be deported.